best anime guys, not sure what they're going to be going towards, but I expect either like an Arden, a Fortress, just definitely heavy roam presence in these next two picks.
Yeah, indeed, they're gonna have to try and go towards very also defensive heroes to protect that Celeste. But that means like they did first pick that Celeste. That means it's also open to counters on the side of best anime guys. And you do know that Celeste has a little bit of trouble dealing with high movement speed and also dive comps. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, for example, Koshka, some Reza, those kind of heroes where they're able to actually dash around, avoid the CC, avoid those heliogenesis, and are trying to deal a lot of damage in that burst condition. So I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to have to see what they want to pick up anyway on the side of best anime guys to answer into that Celeste pickup.
Yeah, no, I'm just very curious as to how they do it. Whatever they do, in my personal opinion, what they most likely should do is they should go for either something like a Rona. You did mention the Koshka, but you have to pair it with an Arden. And the reason you want to pair it with the Arden is because it prevents the Celeste from getting anywhere. Yes, Fortress is good, but Arden can be used both offensively and defensively, and he's probably the best tool at basically anyone's disposal to stop massive dives.
Yeah, that's very true. Like Arden is going to be an absolute keystone into this game. So we're going to have to see if they decide to pick that Arden in that roam position, or maybe a hybrid mid. No, okay, I'm going to start with that one. That's a little bit of a running gag. Let's stop talking about that. Say like many heroes are still open. We're going to have to see. And like on the other side for best anime guys, this is supposedly going to be a CP mid Celeste, but we got totally wrong what happened last draft. So I'm not going to say things are not set in stone. So we're going to have to see if that's indeed going to be a CP mid Celeste, like 95% chance in my opinion. So what could be going mid up against that Celeste? We did see a CP mid Idris last game. Has a little bit of trouble for the first few minutes, but when he unblocks his passive, he gets quite powerful. There's also Samuel Vario in NA that's extremely played very, very often. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Vario pick up here. We're gonna have to see like what CP mid do you think would be good to go up against that Celeste pickup on Tilt Rehab?
All right, well, first, I'm just going to mention to the viewers, we are having a couple of technical difficulties in the background. But in terms of kind of counter picks against Celeste, really, there are a couple of ways to think about it. You can either try to really bully in the early game. Both Samuel and Reza are decent at doing so. Or the other way you can think about it is you can say, all right, I'm just going to play another mage. Varya has been quite proactive and a great option. Scarf, while he hasn't seen the most play, can be quite effective as I have seen a couple of times here in the NACL.
Yeah, that'd be very true. It's going to be interesting to see if they do decide to pick those kind of heroes. Do you see? Yeah, we do have a little bit of a technical problem. Sorry for that. The draft should be coming back extremely soon, so we'll keep you guys updated on that. Like after that, other positions, like we do see then that CS pickup, like as we did just mention, like she's have a bit of problem against Koshka. Rona would be nice, but as you did just mention earlier, 360 no scope. Arden would be extremely powerful in this kind of situation. Like we haven't talked about all the heroes so far. Like we do have, for example, Grumshaw. Like, let's talk about the junglers that are still possible
Oh,
to come out
okay.
right here.
I'm going to say one thing real quick.
Ooh.
So, Neglect, in the VG chat, he's attempting to draft, and so he's trying to pick Fortress and Kestrel.
Ooh.
That's what he's looking to pick up. So, the best anime guys, I'm a little bit surprised about this one. So, Kestrel's generally one of the safer picks. All right. Okay. So we officially have a new draft link. Most
Oh,
likely,
nice.
yeah. Most likely, they're going to send that draft link to both teams. But if they go for something like the Fortress and Celeste, or not Celeste, Kestrel,
Mhm.
KC, same thing. Um, they kind of leave their Fortress out to dry. It really opens up the counter pick in Arden, and on top of that, you don't have anything to pair with the Fortress yet. So it gives Tilt Rehab a little bit more time to go after a couple of priority picks. I'm really curious as to see what Best Anime Guys wants to be betting here, because Tilt Rehab can obviously go for the a counter strategy, or they can go for just a beefy front line, start to tank up, start to go for those kind of just long range fights. I'm looking for Tilt Rehab to look at things like Rona as a potential option. But for best anime guys, you have to be somewhat fast. You have to be able to get around. You have to be able to get around the gauntlet. So that's really where their problems will lie. Of course, that's assuming the Arden's even picked up, but that's what I see Tilt Rehab doing.
Yeah, like if Arden does get pick up, that's what should actually occur during this game. We're going to be seeing then Tilt Rehab going towards that attacker ban. Look, I think they're going to be going towards the same pick and ban that they actually did last game. So that would be a cruel ban on the side of best anime guys, followed up with then that Celeste pickup. So like many things are still open. We're a bit stretching this out, unfortunately, for the draft. We're going to try and like see what the players are going to go towards next. Are they going to be going to? I do not see like the draft is locked for me. I do not know what's going on, unfortunately, right now. Is anything occurred right now? 360.
Not for me. Like I just have a single Taka ban, and then that is it. And the timer keeps whenever I refresh, keep resetting. So I'm assuming that that means that, well, we're basically just gonna have to sit here again.
More technical difficulties. Hell yeah, boy. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to deal with it. So like jungle position, talking about all the meta heroes still open and available. But wait, what? They just changed
What?
that Taka to a cruel ban. Okay.
I guess if best anime guys bans the Taka, then all's fair in love and war, maybe.
Okay, I hope they do that. So I don't know what happened. Looks like they switched side. I do not know what's going on. Anyway, we're gonna have to see. So let's keep talking about the junglers then. Like Tonya's open, Grumjoy's open, Rona Black, like Rona Blackfeathers, even though they played a little bit more in those lane positions, are still open. Like what do you think of the jungle meta in 3.1 on 5v5?
Well, in terms of the jungle meta, it's really interesting because the jungle has been mostly, I guess, let's say it's been more of a utility, right? You have one jungler that really kind of looks for ganks. His main focus is simply just get a couple of lanes ahead, but the jungle isn't necessarily his. The side healer camps are for the laners. The boss, most of the time, especially at the start of the game, are for the laners. So it's kind of a weird situation because you need people who can excel on a couple of low levels, can gank decently, and can really put damage in. You mentioned Tony. He's been a decent pick in the jungle. Others have been mostly high mobility bruisers. Rona, Kroll, Reza, uh, despite not having the tankiness, has the damage and a lot of mobility. Alpha, just major things like that. And you don't see much range in the jungle right now. It's mostly just that super tanky, has some mobility, and can really get you ganks, especially under tower.
Okay, looks like we have a backup draft client coming out, so we're gonna have to be working with this one now. And sorry for the little bit of a delay, everyone on the stream. We should be getting the game ongoing as soon as possible, so stay tuned and I hope for this match. Um, wait a minute. Okay, so got the draft up and fine. This is nice. This is perfect. Everything's going well. We're gonna be getting to the game. I hope. We all hope. So yeah, like jungle meta so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Grumshaw. Like Grumshaw right now, like it's just like such an obvious pickup. Like it just comes out so often with the good old tension bow, aftershock, storm crown, and then full defense build. It's just so common nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it picked up into this game of Tilt Rehab against best anime guys. We're gonna have to see. Anyway, looks like they did go on the normal ban. So yeah, we are back into the draft, you guys, with the once again the Taka and Cruel ban. Should be followed up by a Celeste. It's gonna be the Celeste then. So far so good. They are picking up exactly what happened earlier in that first tryout. And it's going to be then answered back with the Kestrel Crawl, as you did just mention earlier, 316 No Scope that was mentioned into the in-game chat. So, like, what do you think of those, like, two pickups?
So for those two pickups, I feel like it's kind of a discoordinated pickup. Unless they're trying to kind of put that Kestrel mid, it's much easier to focus on your mid laner being your most ranged hero, especially when you have Fortress. Fortress kind of doesn't work unless you're playing dive. So Tilt Rehab responding with the Churn Walker, that to me, I mean, it's surprising, but it's also not. He's been good in 5v5 as definitely one of the better picks if you have a very coordinated team, in which case Tilt Rehab absolutely is. But you may have problems against best anime guys if they do go for the full dive. I'm just curious to see where Tilt Rehab goes for their next pick. Now, Fortress, he has to be played with some sort of dive. He has to have some sort of tankiness with him because he himself, as a captain, doesn't have the greatest tankiness. He's decently squishy and he has no hard CC. So, him alone would be pretty. Almost detrimental to best anime guys if that's their roamer. Had they gone for something else like a Grace, a Catherine, uh, literally anything else.
Hmm. Yeah, that's very true. But like as you did just mention there, like Fortress is going to be having to go extremely tanky to be able to go in that front lane, dive in, and like stay there for an efficient amount of time. And you must also go with a very tanky hero that's able to dive with him and sustain. And that is indeed what's going to be picked up on the side of best anime guys, because that's going to be answered with that alpha pickup. Is getting banned a lot in ranked drafting, and is able. It did come out here, so it's going to be very interesting. Like alpha and Fortress, they are not going to be letting their prey escape in any way or manner. You got the True of the Twos coming out from the Fortress, followed up then with all the gap closing abilities from the Alpha. That means they're going to be sticking to the heroes they want to try and focus, and looks like that's going to be working extremely well if they're able to pull it off. And it's going to be then answered by a Grumshaw pickup for
Nice.
Tilt Rehab.
So I really like the way that both teams are kind of throwing punches here back and forth in the draft. You notice that two Rehab decided to ban the Rona. Just noticing that that was a decently strong pick for best anime guys. What they're most likely hoping for was to get the alpha through to them, so that they could pair that up with the Churn Walker. That is one of the better picks that you can go with. But instead, they're forced to go for a Grumpjaw, not necessarily as coordinated with Churnwalker, but it's still a decent pick. Blackfeather also in that area. So this is going to be a decently tanky front line. Even when you only have these last three, I'm curious to see where Tilt Rehab goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for some sort of attack damage carry. Gwen is definitely an option, or simply go for more tankiness. Well, best anime guys, Vox is their pick. And I feel like they're going to have problems with this comp. They don't have really any defense on the backline, so you have Grumpjaw kind of all up in your grill. Uh, Same thing with Blackfeather when he eventually gets there, and your kind of push isn't the greatest because of how squishy your heroes are. This could be problematic for best anime guys.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit complicated because they, as you did just mention there, you're going to have Grumshaw and Blackfeather. They just got so much of a good condition and like setup to be able to dive through the front lane. There's going to be like mostly here a dive comp. You've got the Fortress, you've got the Alpha. They're not going to be able to stop those two heroes that so easily. So they're going to like Blackfeather and Grumshaw. You're going to see are going to be focusing Kestrel and Vox most of the time in this game. They're going to be having then I can see Gwen everywhere on the draft.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I don't know why Gwen was what
Okay,
Gwen
looks
could
like
be.
Gwen got. Does that mean then the Gwen got banned, and that means that we do have, or does that mean that something else has been banned and they picked Gwen? I think it's more of a ban Gwen, so I
I
don't know
think
what to
this is
think.
like a draft client issue.
H. Hmm.
Okay, Jill just got grayed out as well. So
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on. They say that the draft has ended. I'm refreshing, and Joel for some reason is grayed out. Anyone else that maybe shouldn't?
One, two, three, three Gwens.
Idris.
Ha ha.
Okay, so Idris is grayed out. Joel is grayed out. I'm assuming that they're asking if they want to finish draft in chat. I'm just gonna hope that they do.
Hmm. Would make it much easier. So like that means that then it's a Gwen ban. That means two picks are still available. Gonna have to see what they can possibly do. That means on the side of Tilt Rehab, they have a mid Celeste, Rome Churnwalker, Jungle Grumpjaw, probably a top lane Blackfeather. And that means that they have then their bot laner, that means their main weapon carry, still not picked on their side. What could that actually be, in your opinion, for Tilt Rehab?
Well, if you look at what was still left there, I wouldn't be super surprised to see them go for Joel.
Hmm.
It is kind of an off meta pick, but it allow Joel split pushing and objective taking is probably the best in the game, bar none. Uh, if you combine it with a comp like Tilt Rehab has, you have a decent chance at not necessarily winning the 4v5, but at least disincentivizing it with the poke of Celeste and the return that Blackfeather and Grumpjaw can have. So if you simply let that Joel push in, then that's what happens. So Ali Peterson is saying exactly that. The Joel is picked, and they're saying that best anime guy's last pick is Idris. I am very scared for very best anime guys right now, simply because they're incredibly squishy overall.
Hmm. Their comp is a little bit all over the place. Like they've got a very good dive potential, but unfortunately, if it's them that get dived, they've got absolutely nothing to go against. The best thing they're going to be able to do up against the dive if they get dived on is actually the active camo coming out from the Kestrel, which is the only AoE CC I can think of that can stop in their comp the actual dive potential that they have right there from that Grumshaw and Blackfeather duo. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, we're slowly going to be entering the Sol Rings Rise, and like seeing both of these drafts, I think I know your answer, but like, who would you give this game to, 360?
I have to give it to Rehab. They've come out 2-0 in the first week, and they've won both of their games in an absolutely dominant fashion. Best Anime guys, I don't think that they're necessarily a bad team, but I don't think they're quite up to the par that Tilt Rehab has kind of set. They're currently right now standing at 1-1, and I think that for Tilt Rehab, for them to get a lead here, for them to kind of push themselves further and further from the pack, I think this is where they start to do it. I feel like Best Anime guys draft just kind of hurt them a lot. Now, of course, we still haven't played the game out, and the game's not over, and I'm talking like it is. So you know what, Best Anime guys, come prove me wrong. Come prove that you are in fact the protagonist, and come in with the top 10 anime comeback.
Watch Mojo. Let's go. Okay, well, I do like having a little bit of a split desk, so I'm going to be going with Best Anime guys. I'm going to be supporting them because with drafts can win, as seen from last game. So it's going to be very intriguing. Anyway, we're slowly going to be entering the Sovereign's Rise for this game of Tilt Rehab onto the A side up against Best Anime guys, and we are now onto the Sovereign's Rise, ready to go at it.
Yeah, no, I'm actually excited about this. So, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, wait. What the frick? Did someone not connect? Someone didn't connect. I was looking at like the gold scores, and I was like, all right, someone's like 600 gold down, but that makes sense because someone's gone.
Well, 4v5 already. The draft hurt them quite a bit. Now they're even 4v5, so that it hurts even more. And looks like we're going to be seeing the side of Tilt Rehab going right off the bat. 4 little invade with that dual Celeste and Grumshaw comp. We're going to be going up against that Fox, Idris, and Fortress. Looks like they're going to be forcing Accuser right under their own turret. And like so far, they've already shown a very early aggressive engagement right there.
Yeah, no, this is actually a huge problem right now for Best Anime guys, simply because I feel like they're gonna have time even in the 4v3. That's a big issue. You look on the bottom side, Tilt Rehab has already gone off the Crystal Trent, stolen away, decently nice, but I mean you're still going to have problems because Tilt Rehab can just continue to invade.
Because they're only four persons on the side of Best Anime guys, so they're not able to answer properly against that dive. I do see their reboot coming out, and that's going to be the first blood coming out from the side of Tilt Rehab right onto the Alpha, so that's going to be a very good advantage. And already the gold advantage is at almost 2,000, and we're only 1 minute 30 seconds into the game. That's huge.
Yeah, Jesus, this is not the best way to start the game.
Oh, he's even connected.
Oh yeah, did he? He did connect. All right. Solo Q Frost, he came back. He was playing a blitz match. He's back now. All right, so that's definitely not a good start to come back to. You're already down 1-0. You have no buffs, and you're going mid lane. Okay. Yeah, that hurts even worse.
Okay, interesting. Ali Peterson going to be popping the healing flask, going up against Neglect, going to be forcing Neglect to use his own healing flask. Looks like Chanoka might get a kill. He's already level 2. Is he going to get that torment in time? The cooldown is of 1 second. Going to be pulling back. Is he going to get that last auto attack? Yes, he will. That's going to be another kill going over to Tilt Rehab. Accuser going to try and get that killing blow onto Ali Peterson. We do see the nice rotation from Sino trying to save him out. Unfortunately, will not be enough. Going to be seeing Ali Peterson going down.
All right, so that's just the kind of plays that really make you feel bad. Ali Peterson literally getting the 1v1 against Neglect. Your mid laner is losing to the roamer. Just now, you have a fourth coming back. Solo Q Frost has like nothing except for 2 crystal bits, and he's already down in CS. This is 3 minutes in, by the way, and you're already down in kills. This is not the best way to start.
Yeah, and the gold advantage is almost hitting 3,000. Like, I've never seen such a big gold advantage in only 3 minutes. So it's going to be really hard to come back from, but they can do it. I do have a faith for Best Anime guys, and we do see they're going to be 250 damage. Oh my god, Archaic doing a huge job right there onto that Kestrel. Do you see that engagement from Chief Will trying to do something. Unfortunately, going to be answered back by a huge output of damage on the side of Tilt Rehab. Like, I really can't see how they can come back this game because so far they're just completely losing it.
Well, if they really want to come back into this game, they literally just have to stall out. That is their best option, and even then, it's still not the greatest of options. The best way to kind of play this game out is to make the Joel irrelevant, because Joel, as great of a split pusher as she is not. Oh, okay.
Okay, taking the kill there on that Kestrel. Like right now, he's doing so much damage, and he doesn't even have his tension boat. Is going to be making this even worse when he hits that new low. I'm really, this is scary on the 4 best anime guys.
Yeah, but as I was saying, the best way to do this for best anime guys is simply force the Joel to be irrelevant, make her insignificant, because if she's a split pusher by nature, and so if she isn't playing this split pushing role simply because there's no more objections to split push, because there's no real reason for her to go after anything, and if she does, she just gets picked. Who cares? She's in a team fight that she's basically a potato in, and that's the best way for, at least in my opinion, best anime guys to come back into this. But you can't do that when your mid laner Neglect is just taking so much damage.
Yeah, he's being completely scaled out right now, so he's going to be having to pay attention. We do see the rotation from Solo Q Frost, maybe able to pick up the kill. Yeah, the damage shots raining through, going to be forcing out the healing blast on Sino. He's going to be surviving another day so far, so that's a very good thing for him. You have the core collapse connecting on Akusa, going a little bit too far there, taking quite a hit to the face. Into that mid lane, you did see Archaic and Ali Pizza comboing up, able to pick up the kill on that Kestrel, and that's going to be even 2 kills going over to Archaic with that Grundle pickup. He does have the tension boat, and as I said, they had to take care of that new advantage when you get that first item, and Dark gonna have to respect the damage output there. Gonna be popping his own healing fast, forcing Dark 487 to back away.
Yeah, that was just such a sad play there. Really, for Tilt Rehab, they walked into the best anime guys attempting to dive them with a very half-hearted dive. It basically, RK just diving people left and right. Dark just goes down again. Solo Q Frost taking that exact same fate. It's just all across the map. Kills came running in. There's some return.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a return there. They got 2 kills on the scoreboard for the side of best anime guys, so they're putting up a little bit of a fight. But like Sino there, he did go with Ali Peterson up against the Solo Q Frost, and like he's completely down. Unfortunately, having that AFK, when you are playing in NACL, you are responsible of your connection. So if you have problems, you're the only responsible, unfortunately. So we cannot come back for this game. So they're gonna have to try and make up for it. But like so far, it's not going to happen in their way, because like you do have that advantage completely lost for Solo Q Frost. You must try, as you did say, they must try and scale out, try and go towards the late game. But late game, Celeste is even more of a threat. So it's going to be a really hard situation for them to come back. But they can do it.
They can do it, and you say that they can come back, and as they say that RKRK forces Suzuki to come back because, you know, he kind of died. So look, you Frost just roaming around his own jungle. It's a very brutal way to play, and really you notice, especially for that mid lane game, best anime guys, they kind of half-hearted went after this last went to go for engagement, and when Tilt Rehab went in for their own ganks, they just commit completely. The Gromjall's just so much tougher, deals ridiculous amounts of damage, and that's kind of the difference to me. What this game has kind of been about thus far is really just massive plays right here from Neglect.
Neglect, unfortunately. Oh no, that's going to be the Solar Storm ripping through. Now Archive going to be able to secure that first mid lane turret. Going to be getting the stuff onto that Fortress. Maybe going to be comboed up with a core collapse. Not unfortunately going to have the cooldown right away. It is up right now. Going to be missing out, unfortunately, but Akusa not going to be able to escape any further. He's going to be going down 7 minutes in, 13-2. Gold advantage almost hitting 10,000 in under 10 minutes. This is absolutely huge for Tilt Rehab.
Yeah, so Tilt Rehab, I watched them last week literally get under a 10-minute game. They finished around 9:30.
Yeah, we were together on that one. That was really interesting. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely insane. I wouldn't be super surprised to see them do it again. The pressure that they've been just consistently putting on is immense. And they're looking at Chief Will, who's sitting on his own turn. He's about to get hooked, and just even more pressure.
We're all going to be pulled back with the Torment. Going to be also CC'd by that Trespass. They're completely diving onto this Alpha. He's not going to be able to respond in any way or manner. That's going to be another kill going over to the side of Tilt Rehab. So Q Frost trying to do something right here. It's going to be able to, I do not think so. It's going to be in that 1v3, going to be going down into this mid lane. That's going to be a little bit of a 1v1. Unfortunately, Idris going to be going down 16-2.
All right, that physically pained me. Solo Q Frost watched his teammate die to 3 members, and then he decided to come back and attack by himself. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ghost Wing started to push up. I wouldn't be surprised for a top lane push. But basically, this game at this point is really, really far out of reach right now for best anime guys. I don't want to still want to book it yet, but this is probably the closest you can get. About 8 minutes in.
Like 8 minutes in, the gold advantage is over. It is now over. It's almost 12,000. 2 mid lane turrets already gone down. You did have now the Spellfire purchase for Sino. And looks like they're even looking for more. Trying to get that kill onto Neglect. Going to be followed up with a core collapse. Going to be missing the mark. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to allow Neglect to get away. He will be going down once again. And like so far, Neglect going again absolutely destroyed into this bot part of the jungle. That was the Alpha going down to Esme with that Black for the pickup. Looks like they're trying to push this choke point turret into the mid lane. If they do so, this will be even bigger for the side of Teal Rehab.
They could very well be looking to end the game right here, or just get their Joel a couple more turrets. This is easily going to be the mid lane turret being cracked open, so a response should come out here at least a little bit. I'm just curious to see how Teal Rehab wants to play that. Cameo might have overstepped a little bit.
Prime Directive did come out there, trying on Sino. Didn't do any damage whatsoever. So the Storm going to rip him through damage on the Alpha, going to be forcing a reboot. Not going to be able to restore himself on that. Now, Grumshaw going maybe a little bit too far. He's able to get the stuff onto that box. Not going to be able to respond anywhere, man. He's going to be going down. That's 4 kills down on the side of Teal Rehab. Almost the ace going to be forcing the Fortress away. And this indeed, as you did just mention, 360 no scope. That's going to be game over to Teal Rehab in just a little bit over 10 minutes. This is a really fast game so far. Teal Rehab, 9-minute game and 10-minute game. This team is absolutely disgusting to watch play because like they play it so well. What do you want to say? Really? What? There's nothing to say.
Well, there's actually a lot to say. So really, I think anime guys after this one, they really have to go back to the drawing board to think about how they're playing their drafts out, on what they want to focus on. And the other thing they need to think about is specifically their ganks, how they engage onto specifically like the mid lane or basically anywhere else, because they didn't come up with a good response to nearly anything. Obviously, Solo Q Frost going out in the first couple of minutes never helps anyone, but even then, from what I saw from best anime guys, it wasn't like they've really put in that time into focusing on the higher level play, onto what ganks work, why they work, as opposed to Rehab. They did everything almost picture perfectly and basically stomped.
Now they got basically stomped. Something to take into account also is that they did have Solo Q Frost AFK for the first few minutes of the match. So unfortunately things like that happen. It's not over for best anime guys. They can come back. They're hoping that this doesn't happen again into their matches. So best of hopes for best anime guys to recover from this unfortunate match for their side. But anyway, like dominant performance for Teal Rehab.
All right, the other thing I do want to mention is, because you know I'm like the best analyst, you have to notice these things. So the scoreboard is 22 kills to 2 kills, and best anime guys has 22 gold.
This is a sign.
It is a sign. All right.
Okay. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching the stream. Was short. I think it was catched up really was the time of the draft it took. So it took about the normal time a normal game would have took. So that's fine anyway.
You're here for the draft, guys.
Yeah, it's here for the draft. More draft than gameplay. Hell yeah. Only on NACL. Come back. Anyway, thank you.